Hi, I'm Jessie.
And I'm Natasha.
And together, we host Not Creative, the podcast that flips the script on creativity, bringing together the ones with the ideas and the ones who make it all happen behind the scenes.
In each episode, we dive into the minds of creatives, problem solvers, and the people who prove you don't have to wear the creative label to shape brilliant ideas.
Let's get into it. Welcome to Not Creative, the podcast that flips the script on creativity, looking at the people who shape ideas, whether they're making them or making them happen. And yes, we have, for the first time ever, 2 guests with us today.
Yes, so we have Eva and Marta Yarza, and they are the co-founders and creative directors of Yarza Twins, the award-winning graphic design agency based in London and in Paris, working with some incredible brands like Adidas, HP, Smirnoff, and many others. So welcome, Marta and Eva.
Thank you so much. We're very excited for this.
Yeah, thank you so much for inviting us to this podcast and everybody that is listening to it.
Yeah, it's our pleasure. Jess and I were both so excited when we managed to make this happen because, you know, the work that you do is incredible. So we're just really looking forward to hearing your perspectives and to explore the whole concept of, you know, like creatives and not creatives and see where this chat goes.
Thank you so much.
Thank you. Yes, it's an honor for us, especially coming from you, that you also have great portfolios, great work. And
Thank you.
yeah, we can have a great conversation together.
Yeah, awesome creativity.
I know it's quite a daunting opening question, but how would you define creativity or being creative?
So in my opinion, creativity is a talent you are born with. But there are several types of creativity. So on one side, you have the artist, the designer, but also you can have this handyman that has to solve an issue when he's working in a construction site and finds a creative solution to a problem. I think that if you're a creative, it doesn't matter what kind of creativity you have and you don't follow this path of creativity, it just leads to frustration. So I think it's also a need that we, as creatives, we have. And also I consider creativity to be like a muscle. So it depends how much you use it. It will be better or worse. So you need to keep it going, like do workouts of creativity. If not, at some point your muscle will shrink and be like, yeah. So for me, that's creativity.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I would agree. I really like the concept of the muscle. That's very creative. I will also want to add that creativity is inherently human. Like we are who we are because of our creativity. And I think we wouldn't be where we are today if humans weren't creative, right? That makes our civilization kind of. So I think you cannot separate who we are than that. And also maybe in today's society, I think we should consider ourselves kind of a privilege for being able to do a job out of our creativity. Kind of not everyone can do that. So yeah.
I mean, I've got to ask the follow-up question. Have you always known that you're creative, and did you think of each other as creative growing up? Like, when did you realize that you had that talent, that muscle to be flexed?
So I think that us, as many kids, we were very creative since we were little. Like the moment you get a pen in your hands and you cannot stop drawing or creating stuff. So for us, it was very clear since the beginning, I would say.
Mm-hmm.
But later, obviously, there is a moment where you grow up and you have to choose your path in life. Do you make it creative or not? That's when you really have to make yourself questions and think what will make me happy and choose your path. And we chose creativity for different reasons because it was not our first choice, especially for me, that before being a graphic designer, I was a construction engineering. But thanks to certain things that happened in Spain with the global crisis that like really affected the sector, so it was impossible to find a job. At the end, that allowed me to follow my real dream, that was to be a designer without being scared of it.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, I love that. It's such a big transition, isn't it? But it's something that, like, you know, if you feel like that was a pull and a drive that you had from the beginning, and maybe I understand. Like, I feel like there is a lot of fear in pursuing creative careers, because of what it means and how it's perceived still in society, and is like, can I actually make a living out of this? It's quite interesting to hear kind of like the transition that you had. And Eva, like, were you also transitioning from a completely different path, or did you always like know that that's what you wanted to do?
So I think that's what I always wanted to do. So I kind of study fine arts in Madrid. And that's where I discovered what design was, because I didn't really know about it before. And I managed to specialize in design because it was the way this degree was organized. And when I graduated, I found my first job and started kind of rolling on jobs. And my mother said she couldn't believe I was the first of the two of us who got a job.
Yeah.
So yeah, that's a success.
There is a theme that you both hint on, that it's like creative isn't safe. It's like
Yes.
creative isn't safe to pursue. You've both kind of said it in different ways. I wonder if that's just like a parental thing, or yeah, like a stability thing. But would you guys describe yourselves as risk takers by pursuing it?
Probably yes, a little bit maybe ignorant of, of the risk, but yes.
Naive.
I mean,
Yeah.
it worked out, so.
Yeah, at the end it worked out, but we were very innocent and naive when we pursue our career. We just like went into it full speed and tried to make it happen.
And also
But
to start your own agency, but well, it worked out, so we can't complain.
Yeah.
you just don't have to think too much about it.
Yeah, I guess you girls are the same, right? Like,
I did not found my own business. I am the odd man out. I am happily letting other people found a business, then I just ask them to employ me.
probably that's smart.
Yeah, that's very smart.
Yeah, I must say, founding and running your own business is pretty wild. It's so I think, like, in the spirit, like, continuing the vein of like from a risk-taking perspective, you had like, it was a two-step process, wasn't it? Because first, like, you each individually realized that you wanted to do design, but then you decided that you wanted to work together. And how did that happen? Like, I'm just curious now. Like, I don't even care about the podcast theme anymore.
So, I mean, we were very creative kids, like probably everyone who is into arts or designs. And we always did collaborations together. Like we spoke about this before in some other interview, but we did the longest drawing in history when we were 9. It was only 1.5 meters, but for us was like, oh, it cannot be, anyone could have drawn something longer. And we were collaborating always in these things. So it came naturally for us. So when we came to London, we came to study Central St. Martin's, and we were start working in restaurants, in shops and stuff. But we still wanted to do something with the creative industry. So we started doing projects collaborating with these other students of St. Martin's in fashion and stuff. That's how we started kind of officially.
Yeah, as well, I will say that what pushed us to open our own agency was the lack of real creative opportunities, well paid, that we were finding. Like, London was very open-minded, but there is so much competition that it was very difficult for us to find real great opportunities for us. So we just had to create them ourselves because we had nothing. There was nothing to lose. So we said, okay, let's give us like some years. And the moment we can sustain ourselves with our first client, we will quit our other jobs in restaurants or photography studios, etc. And at the end, it worked out. So a bit of everything, many circumstances.
Yeah.
Amazing.
Yeah, I'm not sure if you, Natasha, has the same issue, because it's hard to get to a new language and kind of make it and get jobs and stuff. So it was really tough in the beginning, I guess, for everyone. But
Yeah, no, definitely. And my journey is actually a funny one, because I left Brazil and I went to Israel for 4 years. I didn't speak Hebrew.
do they speak English a lot there, or is mostly Hebrew?
No, they do speak English, but the funny thing is, and I don't want to deviate too much, but you have a big market in Israel for English speakers, but they want native English speakers, because usually they want to hire people because they want to target those markets. So they want to hire Brits or Americans because they want to target those markets. So there isn't really a lot of opportunities for a Brazilian who speaks English.
Yeah.
I think I just got really lucky because I just found a place that I absolutely loved, and they like me also. But
Great.
yeah, I think like coming to London was actually a big, quite a big jump because of that. And then like suddenly everyone here speaks English, right? So then the language didn't become the barrier that I had. I guess you didn't have that, Jess, because you're an American.
I don't have I don't have the same story at all. I do sound funny. I do sound funny to a Brit, and I spell things wrong.
You sound lovely.
But it's not the same. It's more cultural differences.
Yeah. But I think like in the theme of creativity, like we kind of have to. For me, what I'm hearing is like it's all this way of like reinventing ourselves, right? And like flexing our creative muscles, as we were saying in the beginning, to reinvent ourselves, like being a different language or like creating the opportunities that maybe you're not finding. So yeah, I love that.
I mean, I guess considering there's a different spin on it is, we've established creative is not safe. It's not a stable security blanket. There's additional obstacles to pursue, both in terms of heavy competition, limited opportunity, language barriers. Why do it? No, I'm just kidding. We all want to do it for the right reasons. So for me, it begs the question, is creativity then a choice? Is it something that you can't not choose? You're called to do it. It's a gift the world has to see. I'm being grandiose, but
Or is it a curse? Like as we
is
said,
it a
like maybe
curse?
because it's very so risky, and yeah.
I think I come back to my point. I think it's also ignorance, because you could have studied law or banking or whatever, and maybe you work 10 years in the bank, you make enough money for a comfortable living, and then you retire.
Yeah, but it's more exciting to follow your own dreams.
Yeah.
The rewards that you get when you do what you love is, I don't think there is a stability that can pay for it.
It's true, yeah. I guess the problem of creative careers is that at the end of the day, it's as well a career. So you need to make money out of it, right? So that's the biggest challenge of it. It's not about the creativity. I guess it's more about how we build our existence, kind of. So
You touched on a point that I feel like is very close to Jesse and mine's heart, because we come from, like what we call here, like, the air quotes, like not creatives, because we were always on the outskirts of creativity. And there is always the argument about the artist versus the designer, the commercial versus the personal. And it's quite refreshing, like when we are talking and coming from you, like, from the designer's perspective, the fact that like, it is a commercial activity and we have to make money out of it, because I feel like, Jess, we had so many conversations trying to convince
You call
designers
them
of that.
conversations. I call them fights with creatives. I call them full-blown arguments.
Yeah.
but I will even discuss if you do art as well is the same issue, because unless you are really wealthy and have like a family net that is supporting you, you still need to do art for business, right? That's how the world is working. Everything is capitalized, kind of.
Yeah, that's true. You need to
Yeah.
eat. I wanna change the subject a bit, like wildly, if that's okay.
Great.
So something that I was so curious to talk to both of you about is AI in design and in creativity, because I feel like now, it's beyond a hot topic. Like, it's like
That's
on
great.
bloody fire
Great
all the
pivot.
time. Like everywhere you look, people are talking about AI, and I know that you have a very unique take on it. On ethical AI. So I would love to hear a little bit more from you on your perspective of it, and how did you come up with this idea also of ethical AI?
So first of all, we came up with the idea of ethical AI through one of our big friends, Ricardo Campos. He's from Malaga, and he specializes in like AI right now, new technologies. And he really wanted to incorporate us to the things he has been learning. That's why he taught us how to create our own robot. And we were working with him, creating some visuals using our own Yarza Twins style. So it was really exciting to work on that with him. He
Yeah,
now
he also
has a-
touch us. He also teaches how to do it perfectly. It was really exciting.
yeah.
So basically, you put your own kind of style, and then the AI will create a piece of art. You will say what you want, and then comes out, but in your style, which is awesome.
Yeah, he now has a huge building in Malaga, I think it is, where you can do artist residences if any of the audience is interested about learning a bit more about this world. So that was really exciting. But on the other hand, about AI, I want to say that, for example, I am a bit tired of browsing through LinkedIn, for example, and you see videos that are clearly made with AI, and the style is so obvious, and that thing, it doesn't worry me a lot because the quality is not great, but it's starting to see some work that really doesn't reach the level of polishment and is not professional enough. But just because it was made through the click of a button, people think that it's valuable, which is great. But I think that AI should be used as a tool, not as a medium for don't do anything.
I agree. Yeah.
I mean, it feels like through that lens, it's a real enabler of creativity, that it's like another part of a toolkit that you can harness and use as you want. You know, I think that there's like an existential threat out there for certain, maybe not all creative fields, maybe not all creative outputs, but it does feel like there's this threat balanced with opportunity that is a real part of the conversation right now of how can we use it in an enhanced way to make the things rather than have it threaten anyone's ability to make things, I guess. That's not very
Exactly.
elegant, but hopefully.
No,
I mean,
it makes sense.
yeah, it's called artificial intelligence, but it's not so intelligent, right? It needs someone behind to tell exactly what to do. So
Yeah.
I'm
No, but it's
hopefully still
cool.
not there to take everyone's jobs. Let's see.
I don't think it's gonna take out our jobs because right now using AI really helps creativity. So I cannot say, oh my gosh, AI is horrible, etc. It's just how you use it, like everything. Photoshop can be also a threat, but if you use it right, it's great for our industry. The problem is, for example, something that scares me a bit is when they use AI for fashion campaigns, for example, and they create everything through AI. So they don't need anymore a photographer, they don't need a set designer, they don't need a model, they don't need a stylist, they don't need a photographer assistant, a videographer, a sound editor. They might reduce all of these positions into 2 people or 3. That scares me more. I think that's what's going to happen with hyper realistic settings like fashion campaigns, movies, etc.
When we are talking about progress, I remember seeing something about when electric light posts became a thing. There was a protest of the people who were employed to every day go around the streets and like light up all the lampposts and turn them off because they're like, oh my god, I'm gonna be out of a job. So I hear you, but it's at the same time it's quite a delicate balance because of the nature of evolution. But what I find quite worrying or potentially even disturbing is the messages that are being communicated by the models. Because when you take something that should be so intrinsically human, like you have an actual person modeling clothes, and you replace that with something that is created, when there's so much talk about body image and perception and all that, and like stripping that completely away, it's like, it's not I feel like it's in past generations it was all about like how much we're photoshopping and retouching images, and now we are completely creating them,
Yeah.
artificially. So that I
It's like,
find
sorry, nobody is good enough to be model in my campaign. I prefer an AI.
We're past human. We're post-human.
Yeah.
yeah.
I mean, I guess in that case, it's kind of it doesn't become the tool, but it becomes the goal, right? To do everything with AI. While the way I personally use it is to help me in my work, but what you are describing is substituting a whole industry kind of. So
Yeah.
it's kind of scary in that sense.
Yeah. Well, this is an awkward segue. I'm very big on awkward segues. Speaking of scary things,
It's so scary, this podcast. Oh my God. Halloween.
Horror.
I have no idea if this concept will translate. So, when I moved to the UK, I watched a lot of television. I watched a lot of British television because I felt very alienated by like pop culture references. Like it was like I speak the same language, but our music is different and our TV show references are different. And I mean, everyone watches the same movies, but I felt like my little daily things, I needed to have more of a reference point. And I became obsessed with this TV show called Room 101, which is based on the George Orwell 1984 book. But it was this show where celebrities would come on and banish a concept. They would say, I hate this thing that people do, or I hate this idea, or I hate this genre or this category. And then it would just be banished to room 101 and locked up forever, and you could banish a concept. This is my awkward, so scary thing. I we've never had two answers. So I'm just really keen to hear when it comes to creativity, when it comes to being creative or practicing the creative, muscle, what would you banish into room 101?
So for me, it's not like the real creative part of a creative job, but I think I don't like people that write emails clearly written with ChatGPT. They all follow the same structure, they all use the same words, and it's very obvious when an email has been written with AI and not even read after to, I don't know, to see if it's really what you want to say, etc. It's like, it's something, we receive a lot of job offers and a lot of people applying for jobs, and a lot of emails are written with AI, and I feel like, wow, like, really, is this the creativity you want to offer? Like a ChatGPT standard message that I receive 30 that look the same. So I will encourage people to, okay, use ChatGPT because it's a really great tool and it can help you to tidy up your ideas, but to perhaps be a bit more creative and also put a bit of yourself, a bit more of warmth in these emails, not so cold. Make it a bit more you, not so much artificial intelligence.
I think briefs are like the holy grail of any creative output. So that made me gasp and sent shivers down my spine. That not only it happens once, that it happens so frequently, you recognize the language patterns of ChatGPT. I am shook.
Yeah, the thing is that you receive them so often that you end up knowing the patterns yourself
Oh,
because
that's horrifying.
I'm a person that I want to read every email. So at the end, it's like, okay, another ChatGPT email, it is great, but come on, like, be creative. We are a creative industry. We can do it. Use it as a
It's
tool.
almost a little bit disrespectful, isn't it? It's like, well, you cannot be bothered to like even like read what you're writing to me. So it's like, do you want me to reply? But you can you cannot even bother reading it yourself. Yeah, I think that's a good thing to banish.
Yeah.
Right there.
So ChatGPT email writers.
That and the SEO emails, constant emails.
Oh yeah, people that put you in mailing list without you requesting them to do it. Like spam emails, I receive so many. Like, hello, I offer you services of blah blah, but it's not even directed to you. It's like you are in some kind of list, and they just send it over. It's like really bad.
How about you, Eva?
So I need to banish something of our day-to-day work, kind of, right?
It can be whatever
Anything.
you want.
It can be a concept. It can be a person. We don't judge. It can,
Okay.
it can
Well,
be a
if
project.
what I don't like is a little bit the pressure sometimes at work to make things kind of excel every time, but at the same time we have very tight deadlines. So kind of, if I could ease a little bit this pressure, it will be awesome. If we
Nice.
need to banish something from the world, there is so many wrong things going on now that I wouldn't know where to start from.
We've limited it to just creative so
Yeah,
that
I
we
think so.
can't get, it's not a world peace mission. It's
Exactly.
I like it though. I'm here for it. Like, let's eliminate like having to be amazing every single time with the pressure of like, being faster and faster and faster. So yeah.
Yeah, it's just like when it's a lot of time constrained, but at the same time, lots of pressure.
Yeah, creativity needs of time. Where the best ideas normally come when you are in the street walking, having a shower, sleeping sometimes. So you also need to be relaxed during these activities to be able to achieve great ideas.
Yeah, I like that. I mean, I also worry that it's someone like me or Natasha putting the pressure on. I'm having a moment of self-reflection now going, am I that person? I might be.
Don't say it out loud, Jess. Keep it quiet.
I'm really sorry. I
Possibly.
can't help.
It's the classic, where do you need this for? For yesterday.
Yeah.
That is true. I must say, yes, even though I am all up for removing the pressure and banning it, like I know that I've caused this pressure more times than I can think of to other people and continue doing so probably, but
Yeah, I guess like the worst of thing of this is when deadlines are changed, right? So you think you have till Friday and suddenly they write you, hey, can you do it for tomorrow? If something happens, it's like, no.
You know, this is actually just reminding me that you can shed a really unique insight on something. So I'm a fly on the wall whenever we have to have a creative conversation with Danny, with, Natasha's business partner and other half. And I love that Danny tries to bring me into the conversation. We'll say things like, Jess, what do you think about this? And like, what are your preferences? And I'm like, we all know I'm the easy client and the person sat next to you is the not easy client. So do you, when you're working together, but I get to witness creativity through the agency dynamic and stuff, but it's not got that personal connection. So how do you guys resolve creative differences when you're working together? How do you always share a vision? Do you always not share a vision? How do you guys reconcile what's right for a response?
I don't know. I guess Natasha and Dan can see sometimes things feels right, and that's the solution. So whoever idea is that, or whoever's developing that idea, you can see it. Personally, when one idea is not good, we just straightforward tell the other. We don't sugarcoat it.
Yeah, but as well, it's good to have different points of view and ideas because you never know which one will the client accept. So it's good to offer options.
Yeah, we offer normally more than one. So yeah, if we cannot come to an agreement, we present the ideas.
I think Jess wants to hear the other side. The side of like when things are not going well, when you're like yelling at each other and
I'm not putting anything out there in the world. I'm just curious.
Yeah, I mean, when nothing is good enough, we seriously, me personally, I need to disconnect from everything. Give me a whole day for myself, and I'm coming back with something. So.
But did you ever have a situation? Because I will confess that we did. I feel like Dani and I disagree a lot. We do have a thing though that we feel that we will never put something forward if we both don't believe in it.
Definitely,
so
yeah.
So if we are in a situation where he really believes on something and I don't, he either will have to try to convince me or will need to work on changing it so that I will be happy with it also. But if I feel like it's not right for a brief or for a client, we will not put forward. But we do disagree a lot before, on that. So how does it work with the two of you, on this dynamic? Do you ever have a situation where maybe Martha thinks oh, this is, yes, I'm very sure of this. I think this is great. And then Eva will look and it was like, no, this is so not right.
Yeah, we have a lot of those situations. We end up always presenting different solutions to the client. And sometimes the client does choose that one that was a bit polemic and one of us didn't know. And the other will say, I told you so, you see, it's the best, and blah, blah, blah. Yeah. So we deal with it like teenagers.
We all revert. We all revert. That's how we are. Natasha and I both have siblings. We revert.
Exactly the same, yeah.
I think on the same vein, we call the podcast Not Creative, and Jess and I are both like self-proclaimed not creatives. And that means that we like to look at ourselves as the people that sometimes put some structure around working with creatives. And how is this dynamic with the two of you when you're working together? Do you feel like one of you leans more towards the role of the not creative or focusing on producing and stuff like that? Or is it something that you share quite equally? You feel like one of you is much more inclined to that than the other?
I think we kind of split equally, isn't it, Marta? I wouldn't say one is working more in project managing and the other in creativity. So we kind of we split everything. And yeah, it's working for us. So we're like in that sense.
If there's something that not creative people or teams or colleagues do that helps you, like, is there something that comes to mind that you're like, that's the thing that neither of us do that's really helpful? I'm trying to validate my own life. Please help me.
No, it's good. In my experience working with non-creative or non-designers, you guys are really good at the strategy as well and kind of preparing amazing briefs. So, and organizing everything. So that's really valuable, even if it's not seen. It's very valuable for designers, believe it or not. And also, I think you bring something really unique to the table because designers, we know what are the trends, we know what is in and what is cool, but maybe you guys are not so much into that world. So I think you have a unique perspective when you need your feedback on how a project is going because you are more close to the real world than our little designer bubble. So I think that's great.
In my opinion, I really like not creatives because they make decisions and they get things done. They don't get stuck in, oh no, let me fix it a bit more. Oh no, 1 second, no, version 3000. No, you say, no, this is it, that's it. Decision taken. I like it.
Just, I feel like we need to start our days talking to Eva and Marta every day just so that we have like an ego boost.
I have this on record now. I'm listening to this all the time.
It will be your affirmations of the day.
Yeah.
Yes, I will get things done. I will make decisions. Natasha's never had to tell herself, I will make decisions. I'm envious. You carry your decisions with authority. I'm always.
Well, you would be surprised. Like, you get me in a restaurant with a menu that have like 5 million options of things, and like I cannot decide. And then I'll be like, can you please just bring me food, any food?
You choose.
You have to ask what is the most popular one.
Yeah.
Yeah, or at the waiter, where's your favorite dish here? Sometimes they give you ideas.
We won't do a food podcast.
No. So, who would you say is your favorite, like, not creative, and why?
For me, I cannot say one person because I really have a lot of favorite people. But I will say it will be anybody who is not an asshole, who doesn't feel superior to the rest of the humans on Earth, and who gets things done. Yeah.
I love that.
I must say, when I was younger, I got really inspired by, a lot of creative, but if we're speaking non-creative people, Jane Goodall, who takes care of kind of primates, like chimpanzees and I think gorillas and stuff. I just thought it was so random. Someone will kind of quit their country and go to the jungle, I think in Africa, to take care of chimpanzees and see how they live in families. I just thought it was really amazing. So
she's fundamentally changed like policy. She's gotten like laws reversed. She's gotten
awesome.
She's definitely a person who gets things done.
Yeah, and it's like so different to what I will do in my life. So I just love it. Really interesting.
Amazing.
Mhm.
Amazing. I really want to interview more pairs of people. You guys are really funny and play off each other really well, but you probably know that because you've spent your entire lives together.
Yeah.
Thank you. You're also very lovely and very funny.
Yeah, we have to interview you next time.
Yeah. We'll reverse roles next time.
We do fight like sisters, to be fair.
No, this has been so much fun. Thank you so much, Marta and Eva. It was great having you both.
Thank you for this opportunity.
Yeah, thank you so much. It's an honor for us, and thank you to everybody that is letting a piece of their time to hear to us.
Thank you so much. Bye, everybody.
Bye.
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 Thanks for listening to Not Creative.
If you like this episode, follow us for more and spread the word.
You can find us on all the streaming platforms, Instagram, and YouTube at Not Creative Podcast.
Catch you next time.
I mean, that was pretty freaking good, man.